Become a RealCatholicTV.com premium member. It's all the news that isn't fit to print.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by PewSitter.com, your online Catholic newspaper for the third millennium, CatholicMediaCoalition.org, in line with the Church, online with the world.
And TheAmericanCatholic.com, politics and culture from a Catholic perspective.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Catholic News Roundup. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. French police corner terrorist. Toulouse police may have caught the gunman responsible for a recent tragic school shooting that took the lives of 3 Jewish children. After a pre-dawn raid, police cornered the gunman, Mohamed Murat, who claims allegiance to the jihadi terrorist group Al-Qaeda, killing to take revenge for Palestinian children killed in the Middle East and for French military intervention abroad. Murat is also responsible for previously killing 2 French paratroopers, and one French prosecutor says he was ready to kill again. This police effort to find and capture Murat has sparked the largest manhunt in France since terrorist attacks that took place in the 1990s. Misplaced Attack. A sex tape scandal in an Egyptian town has unleashed the fury of Islamic hatred on one Coptic Christian family. The attack happened after a Christian man was allegedly caught on video having adulterous relations with a Muslim woman. Oddly, the violence was not directed at the alleged adulterer, but the brother of the man and his extended family. Nabil Gurgis, brother of the alleged adulterer, and the 11 members of his family have had their homes and businesses burned and have been ordered by a Muslim committee of tribal elders and local lawmakers to leave town. In fact, when police arrived on the scene of the burned shops, which were under the family's living quarters, instead of investigating who burned the buildings, they immediately took the brother accused of adultery in for questioning. Disperate Dialogue. To fear Islam is to be ignorant of Islam, or so says one prince of the Catholic Church, Cardinal Jean-Louis Tauran. Cardinal Tauran, the president of the Pontifical Council for Interreligious Dialogue, says that in Europe, quote, there is a fear of Islam, but it is due to ignorance, end quote, in the wake of a so-called Arab Spring and at a time when Islamic violence against Christians is on the rise in Africa, Europe, and the Middle East. The representative of the Church's relationships with other religions says of right-wing groups, quote, there needs to be a big effort to educate, to inform them, because most of the problems are coming from misinterpretation or ignorance, end quote. Tauran seems to favor a middle-of-the-road approach when it comes to Christian-Islamic relations, also criticizing Islam for making Christians feel like, quote, second-class citizens in countries where Muslims are the majority. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few seconds.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by NewOxfordReview.org, the voice of Catholic Orthodoxy, in print and on the web, and RenewAmerica.com, expanding the influence of America's grassroots in the cause of freedom.
Scandalous Salaries. Amid Catholic church and school closings, as well as dramatic cuts in the number of staff working for the Archdiocese of Boston, the number of lay employees making over $150,000 a year has somehow increased from 5 to 17 in the past 5 years. Superintendent of the Archdiocese schools makes $351,000 a year, while the top attorney has a salary of over $326,000 a year, and payroll for the Boston Archdiocese has gone up from $8.3 million in 2006 to $9.2 million this year. Terrence Donnellan, the communications specialist who pulled in a tidy $193,000 last year from the Archdiocese, says, quote, to focus on salaries and not look at the broader picture is vastly unfair. These folks are immensely talented people who are helping one of the largest archdioceses in the country repair itself, end quote. Publication of these numbers comes only a few weeks into the crucial Catholic Appeal fundraiser and could influence how much the faithful are willing to donate to the Archdiocese. Banking bias. J.P. Morgan Chase, the U.S. banking giant, is severing its ties to the Vatican, announcing that it will phase out its account with the Holy See by March 30th. The large United States bank is taking this course of action for what it calls a, quote, lack of transparency at the Holy See's financial institution and will have a serious impact on the Vatican's goal to be on Europe's white list of states that comply with continent standards against tax fraud and money laundering. J.P. Morgan Chase's decision and its timing to sever their relationship with the Vatican City seem to be either in reaction to or part of a current smear campaign against the Catholic Church, from the cyber attacks initiated by the hacker collective Anonymous to the recent VatiLeaks scandal that gave sensitive Vatican information to the media for publication. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Thanks for tuning in today. Be sure and tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of Catholic News Roundup right here on RealCatholicTV.com. Also be sure to check out The Vortex, where Michael gives some pointers on conquering sins of the flesh. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to tell all your friends about us. And as always, God bless you.